Hi, I'm Randy Van Wagner, president of MVCC, and it's my pleasure to be here today with Jim Myers, our coordinator of research and analysis. Uh, Jim has held several roles at the college over the last 39 years. He recently celebrated his 39th anniversary here at the college. And Jim, thanks so much for joining me to help celebrate MVCC's 75th anniversary. And I want to start by just asking you, if you don't mind sharing a little bit about the story of how you first came to know MVCC.
Well, good morning, Randy. I'm honored that you would ask me to participate. Um, Back in 1981, I think it was, I was working at a warehouse in Rome and we went on strike. And um, eventually the money tends to run out. And my father-in-law actually worked at Mohawk Valley Community College in Rome on the Rome campus. And he said, I can probably get you a job working there until the strike ends. And then when the strike ended, I had to decide, do I go back to the warehouse or do I stay at Mohawk and, make more money, or do I stay at MVCC? And I decided to stay. And then 5 years later or so, the warehouse left. And
How
so it
about
turned out to
that?
be a good decision. So my first job was working on the second shift as a janitor. Um, he eventually retired probably, I don't know, sometime within the next few years. And I took his position. Um, One of the benefits at the time was any full-time employee at MVCC could take classes with free tuition. Still had to pay your fees, you had to buy your own books, but you got free tuition. So I said, well, I might as well take some classes. Um, I took a test that admissions offered to see what I was good at. I had no idea what I was interested in. And they asked a series of questions that, depending on your answer, narrowed your uh, interests and um, possible position down, as far as you wanted to go. And finally, they said you should be a nursing home director.
Oh my.
And I, I didn't think that was really anything that I was interested in, so I backed off a little bit. One of the suggested areas of study was accounting. So I said, well, let me take a couple of classes. I talked to my advisor, and Steve Sutherland was his name, and he set me up with a couple of classes. And when I got my grades, I went back to him and said, look, I got an A, two A's actually. And he was like, oh wow, And so uh, some 4 years, maybe 5 years later, after working full time and going to class at night, I got my associate's degree. Um, Applied for a position in the registrar business office on the Rome campus. They let me take that position. I worked there for about 8 years while I was getting my bachelor's degree at Utica College. And from there, I went to it's currently the vice president for language, for learning and academic affairs.
Yep.
I worked in that office for a few years, uh, moved on to the business office for a few years, and then I think 2009, I came up to my current position in institutional research.
So, getting to experience the college from all those different roles, and then now you sit in the institutional research office and you understand student registrations and class scheduling because you used to do those things, and uh, and now you provide all the great analysis that we need as we need to make decisions using data more and more. Data has become more and more important as the time has gone on. So during that time, certainly 39 years, lots of different experiences. Uh, is there a particular memory that stands out for you that you want to share that will probably always always stick with you for one reason or another as you think about the college?
Well, here, can I give two?
Yeah, go for it. We got
One,
time.
one um, what do you do during lunch? So I go down to the gym, and there's a bunch of guys that would go down, and we would play basketball at lunch 2, 3, even up to 5 times a week. And you know what? That was a great experience because I got to know people at a completely different level when you're playing and in the gym talking, and it's a completely different experience than it is sitting across the desk. And that has been a lot of great fun and a great opportunity to get to know some people that I might not have gotten to know as well. The second, when I worked in the registrar business office, um, because the Rome campus was much more smaller and intimate, you get to know the students better. And I remember this one student named Tara who came in, I think, with her social worker. And at the time, I was sure that she would rather have been wrestling a bear than standing there with me filling out a class schedule.
Wow.
She really looked uncomfortable. And over the next 2 years, the change that I saw in her was amazing. As she gained confidence, she gained her education, a completely different person in 2 years.
Yeah,
I think that's what we do best.
yeah. When we, talked to faculty and staff years ago, and we were establishing a vision statement for the college, and this idea of transforming lives through education. Faculty and staff, we've seen the transformation that can occur for some of our students. Yeah, and Tara, it happened for her for sure, huh?
Absolutely.
That's great.
And I've seen her, once or twice in public. She probably doesn't know me, from Adam, I'm sure, but I see her and I remember her, and it's just amazing. Just
No,
amazing.
that's great. Thanks for sharing that. So after 39 years, and still counting, thankfully, 39 years ago, you probably didn't come to the college. Certainly, you were wrestling with whether or not you're going back to the warehouse or not in the first place. But 39 years later, looking back on it, what would you say? What's made you stay here?
I don't know as I've ever really thought about that. I do remember, I guess kind of, well, I was walking down the hall one day, and I don't know if I stopped, but I remember as I was walking down the hall, I remember thinking, there's a lot of great people here. And there really is. There really is. A lot of, nobody in my family really pursued education. That wasn't what we did. My father was a plumber. My mother worked at a local institution. Nobody else in my family ever, they went to college some, but never really pursued a lot, I don't think. And so working with people that were not only really intelligent, but really educated, it gave me a different perspective on a lot of things. And on top of that, they're really nice people. So it was just a great experience.
That's great.
I have no regrets. I don't think I have any regrets. As Father Sarducci, member from Saturday Night Live, MVCC, has been very good to me.
Very good. Oh, well, Jim, thanks so much for joining me here and helping the college celebrate our 75th anniversary. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Randy.